Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back to Alice in Wonderland. Let's proceed with Interlude the Dodo. And we're going to proceed to seeking entrance because we went down the rabbit hole. The endless march down the corridor of doors ends at long last as the hallway dead ends in a small enclave. In the center of the area stands a glass table with two curious objects on top. A bottle labeled Drink Me and a cake with the words Eat Me written in its decorations. You scan the walls for any other way forward and are shocked to discover an open door, only one that is scarcely knee-high and impossible to squeeze through. With endless wandering as your only alternative, you resolve to find a way through. Minutes pass without success, and you return to consider the strange refreshments on the glass table. If this truly is part of Alice's dream, then there's a chance that they may not be dangerous and perhaps might even help. You pop the cork in the bottle and take a wary sip, but the drink's effects quickly flow through you. At first, it seems like the room is growing larger, but you soon realize that you are shrinking. You brace for the worst, but find that the effect stops as you reach the right height to easily pass through the tiny door. At long last, you make your way forward to the sights and sounds of a vast sea. Any one investigator may choose to add strange refreshments to his or her deck. This card does not count towards that investigator's deck size. Skip to the caucus race. Well, let's go just take a quick look at that. I think I kind of flashed it up last scenario, but here's the strange refreshments. Uses 4 portions, 2 cost asset. If strange refreshments has no portions on it, discard it. As a free triggered ability, exhaust strange refreshments and spend 1 portion. You get +2 combat or +2 evade for this skill test. Now, it's kind of a tricky one to know who to put this in because for Tommy, this kind of slows down getting the other stuff out that he wants to get, and his deck can get congested if you don't pay attention to his card draw and what you're shuffling back in. But on the other hand, those stats are pretty well useless for Norman, and they're not going to get better as his deck upgrades. He's going to be more and more reliant on just willpower and intellect. So either this is a 1-cost asset for Norman off the top of his deck that lets him shore up some crappy stats for tests, or this is a combat / if I need to make an agility test on Tommy, and I think that is where the strange refreshments are going to go. And we'll proceed to the caucus race. The caucus race. A scene of commotion catches your eye as you step over a small dune and look down towards the shoreline. A motley pack of animals dashes about, seemingly without direction or destination. From the center, a dodo shouts words of action as he runs a short run in the sand. Yes, that's it. Up that sandhill there, down the other side. There's no faster way to get dry. Dry? The suggestion seems absurd when both of their paths wander into and out of the surf. You walk over to investigate the bizarre event, and notice the animals are in a sorry state as you approach closer. Some of the less hardy creatures have collapsed completely, while others don't appear to be breathing whatsoever. The dodo urges them onward all the same, seemingly oblivious to their exhaustion, let alone its own. The race must be run until the race is won. Come, you must join us. The investigators must decide we have to stop them from hurting themselves or we want nothing to do with this nonsense. Well, from what I understand, we're kind of supposed to help Wonderland out. And the dodo is a creature of Wonderland, so let's proceed to resting on laurels. You hold the dodo in place and assure him that the race is over. At last, the dodo cries out. The race is over. And everybody has won. The other animals ease to a stop, collapsing onto the sand with relieved groans. There must be prizes for the winners, the dodo rasps, and he looks to you with a wild look as his frail body shivers with exhaustion. You rifle through your pockets and produce a number of random items, which the animals grab covetously. As the surviving racers begin recovering, the dodo hobbles back over to you. Fair play is satisfied. We have been running the caucus race ever since the pool of tears ran into a sea. Now at last, we are truly dry. You humor the bird with a polite nod. Finally, we can return to more academic pursuits. Perhaps I may educate you on several matters? In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark under Strength of Wonderland. In your campaign log, under Wonderland Boons, record the dodo, and add a skull to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. Skip to guidance from Alice. You depart from the strange spectacle, following the shoreline steadily. Landmarks are few and far between, making the beach seem endless in either direction. As you ponder where to head next, the sound of the sea wind changes, and you hear faint tones resembling Alice's voice. Though the words are indiscernible, you look out over the surf, and to your astonishment, the tide recedes all at once, leaving behind an arrangement of stones and shells. The debris portrays a vague map of your current position, with a series of arrows pointing down the beach and then inland. You breathe a sigh of relief as you make mental notes of the map's layout. No matter what lunacy may lie ahead, this is Alice's dream at its core. You don't know what degree of influence she holds over Wonderland in this state, but it's one less burden on your shoulders. If the investigators went down the rabbit hole, proceed to scenario 2A, a sea of troubles. So I'm just going to quickly pull up the deck lists, and then we'll proceed into the scenario. Okay, here's Tommy. Tommy's pretty straightforward. I've got the Star, the new tarot card from the Circle Undone Return 2 box. +1 health and sanity for each asset you control. Pretty handy. Charisma, so I can get Gret and Madame Lebranche into play, and a single enchant weapon. And I'm dropping an Overpower and a Fight or Flight for this. I'm a little torn on as to whether I go for the Blessed stuff yet. I've still not decided how I want this to go, so I decided for some easier upgrade choices first. Probably should have got an Ever Vigilant in here, but whatever. That can come later. Norman, I'm picking up a Hierophant once again. Return the Circle Undone new tarot card. A single Mists of Rilia, and 2 Divinations. I don't have any evade at all, like between the 2X, except for Mind Over Matter, and I really like Mists of Rilia. It's good. It's very good. Evading at 7's nice. Having a person that can evade is very handy in general. And since I'm playing these like blind, I thought just Tommy alone probably wasn't good enough. And I've got 2 Divination. Nice thing with Divination is if you keep the Intellect, then you can actually stack it with Magnifying Glass. So I can be investigating for like 8 plus skills. So pretty good. I'll be dropping 2 Art Students because of the 2 Divinations that I'm purchasing. I figure glues for glues. And 2 Dream Enhancing Serums for Mists and a Hierophant. I figure I've still got 4 Arcane slots here, and I've got an accessory. The Hierophant lets me hold a 3rd, so I can have like a Enlightenment, Divination, and Mists. So I can get my 2 Magnifying Glasses and a Livre or a Scroll of Secrets or some combination. But that's kind of where I landed with Norman. And let's proceed into reading the next scenario. Scenario 2A, the Sea of Troubles. The scenery continues for mile after mile until at last you find an anomaly. Some distance up the beach from a saltwater pool, and near the edge of a dense forest, sits the remain of a quaint cottage. It looks like a disaster photograph, with the thatch roof exploding upward and the wooden walls splintering out, but with each piece suspended in air. You approach the house cautiously, and as you circle the building, you see the White Rabbit, the same one that traversed Arkham not long ago. The rabbit wails anxiously to 2 other figures that regard him sadly, a man and a lizard. "My house! My poor house! Oh, the monster that must have done this." The dirt-caked man shakes his head forlornly and strokes his chin as he surveys the damage. "And a monster that didn't even finish what it started, Your Honor. It didn't think to let the pieces fall before it vanished away." "Never you mind the pieces, Pat," the White Rabbit snaps. "Call someone to put it back together. Oh, how late I shall be." You take a half step forward, only for the grinning head of the Cheshire Cat to wink into existence before you. The poor rabbit, not a roof over his head to speak of. The cat's paw appears and gestures towards the shattered house. As Gurathnaka claws at your world with its front, its back nails gouge into Wonderland. The shadows crept to the corner until now, only seen by those who also lurk in the dark, solitary as oysters. Its eyes glance in the direction of the beach and vanish, leaving only its smile to linger a few moments after. You only have a few seconds to consider the cat's words. "You there!" You look down from the suspended grin to see the White Rabbit looking up at you haughtily. "Standing with idle hands while there's a monster about. Come, help Bill to find this beast and drag it back. It has much to answer for." His finger points to the lizard, who tips his cap back at you hesitantly. Before you can reply in any fashion, the White Rabbit turns back to the cottage and resumes his despairing. You rub the back of your neck, at a loss for words as you weigh your options. Forced into work as you are, there's a chance you might learn something by venturing out into the surf. Set up. Gather all the cards from a Sea of Troubles, Gurathnaka's Shadows, and Cheshire Cat counter sets. These sets are indicated by the following icons. Cool. We check the campaign log, and we gather cards from the Wonderland Boons encounter set whose names are listed under the Boons, which is the Dodo, which conveniently in the TTS implementation, you have your Boons here and you have your Banes here, and go figure, the very first one's the Dodo. We're putting this guy into the encounter deck, I believe. Right? Does it tell me? Yeah, okay. He's definitely going in the encounter deck. We're setting some cards aside. We've got the setup. We begin play at the White Rabbit House. We put Bilbo Lizard at the White Rabbit House. We put the Cheshire Cat into play in the lead investigator's play area. Down here with Tammy. And, what's going on? I've got 2 players. Cut this out. And we do our opening hands, which I've started, but I drew weakness in each of them, and I didn't do my mulligan yet because I felt weird about not doing my mulligan on camera sometimes. So over here, I think we'll do like that. Seems fine. Wish that could have been better. A weapon would have been nice. And over here, we'll just toss a delve. We'll toss a crack the case. We will keep a deduction. Fine. Not amazing. All right. The agenda. A tide of tears. The quiet lapping of waves on the sand does little to calm your feeling of foreboding. Shadows flit in every wave, making you reluctant to enter the surf in search of the truth. Act 1A, search for the eldest oyster. You consider the Cheshire Cat's cryptic words carefully. The cat seemed to suggest that not only that the monster that destroyed the White Rabbit's home was one of Guruthnaka's ilk, but also that the nearby oysters might somehow assist in finding and defeating it. If you can destroy this monster, perhaps the same can be done to Guruthnaka in time. Objective: if there are a total of at least 4 per player oysters in play among all locations, the investigators may advance. A Sea of Troubles, -1 skull. I've got 3 of them now, after adding 1 from the Interlude. If you fail, remove an oyster from your location. There are no cultists or tablets, which is good because those look brutal. And an elder thing, if you fail, take 1 horror. Okay. Let's get started, I guess. White Rabbit's house. There cannot be more than 6 oysters, 3 shroud. At the start of the investigator phase, place clues on it until there are 1 per investigator. So this always fills up its clues. If there are no clues on White Rabbit's house, in your campaign log under Fragments of Alice, record intuition. Oh, interesting. Okay. And we've got Bill the Lizard. He's a 1 health, 1 sanity asset. Exhaust him to move Bill. Why does he have health and sanity? Okay, anyways. Exhaust Bill to move him to any location. Additionally, you may move up to 6 oysters from Bill the Lizard's current location to his new location, not exceeding the maximum for each location. Any investigator at Bill the Lizard's location may activate this ability. Cool. Hey, Bill. The luckless lackey. Okay. Let's get started, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to, immediately reveal the top card of the deck. It is Divination. We're going to play Divination from the top of the deck. Reveal it in the stars. We're going to play a Magnifying Glass. Yes, this does not get charges automatically. In fact, what I'm going to do really quickly, copy those and plop them right there so that the next time that happens I can just copy them over. Okay. Let's 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's commit a deduction. We don't actually spend these, so we're going to be using intellect, so it'll be 5 plus 1 from this, plus 1 from this, and then 8. If you succeed, spend 1 or 2 charges. Yeah. So I'll only have to spend 1 charge if I do this. Cool, -1. So I'll spend 1 charge to get 1 clue, and then deduction will add a second clue to it. I'll get both clues. I will immediately record intuition here in the Fragments of Alice. And then finally, I believe it's a cracked case. And I'm going to toss that. I'll just toss like 1 over to Tommy, and then I'll keep 2 for myself. And last but not least, let's go find somewhere else. Let's move to the Sandy Strand, a central location. Just agility. Ugh. Okay. There can be no more than 6 oysters on Sandy Strand. If you succeed, place an oyster from the token bank on Sandy Strand as an oyster. Sorry, place a resource from the token bank as an oyster. If you succeed by 2 or more, place 1 additional oyster on Sandy Strand. Well, we're not going to be getting any oysters there. So let's use Tommy to scoot Bill down here, bringing no oysters with him, but that's all right. He needs to. Presumably, I need to move oysters around, and he's no use to me here because I don't have oysters here, and I can't get oysters. I can't generate oysters here. So let's go. Let's start with a card draw. Did I shuffle that? We will 1-2 to play, madame, and then we will just. We have no way to deal with enemies right here, so we'll have Tommy follow Norman. So we're both going to ready. We're going to upkeep. Nice. Good to see. Short a buck, but that's all right. I can take a buck if I have to. He's going to ready as well. 1 doom out of 5. Shuffle that one last time, and then over here. Edge of your vision. Test X. X is equal to the location shroud. So I'm testing 3 against 2. Pretty happy with 3 against 2. I could commit the keepsake, but I only have the 1. So let's not do that. Nailed it. Over here we've got +1 shroud. Okay. Pretty painless. So, let's have Norman. Oh, did we mess this up again? Yeah, we messed this up again. There. Okay, let's have Norman scoot over to the tidal pools to see what we can do over here. Ooh, here we go. There cannot be more than 6 oysters. After you succeeded investigating tidal pools by 1 or more, place an oyster from the token bank on tidal pools as an oyster. Cool. All right. Nice. So that's good to see. Let's we'll play right in this. Ooh, maybe I'll keep that for next turn. I want to do this. I could do this. I could do this a bit faster with the divination. No, I think I'll just do it. So I'll spend 1. Yeah, I'll spend 1 to play Written in the Stars. Discard the top card of the deck. And then for the rest of the turn, I can commit this to every test I perform. So we'll investigate once. I don't really need to use my divination charges. There's no sense, I don't believe. Because I'll be at 5, 6, 7, 8 against 3. So let's just not bother. Draws a card and a clue. And I did succeed by 1 or more, so I place an oyster there. And we'll... Oh, I guess there's no sense in me holding on to this magnifying glass. Because it can be at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll just go again. Swap the top card of your deck for a card in your hand. I mean, that doesn't matter, does it? Not particularly. So we'll just get +1, which will give us another clue and another oyster. Now, I wonder if moving the oysters around is going to be useful. I genuinely don't know. Yeah, I have no idea if moving oysters around will be useful. So, what we're going to do with Tommy is we're going to take 1 resource, then we're going to play the Thompson. And then we're going to play the keepsake. Cheapskate. Alright, and that's that. You know, I think I may as well do this. I don't know if there's any benefit, but I figure maybe sending him down this way if Tommy's going to go explore over there. Now that I've got a Mind Over Matter, that might be a good idea. So up. Keep. Okay. He's ready now. 2 out of 5 doom. counter cards. Hunter, spawn any coastal location. Well, let's see what's coastal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just not the White Rabbit's house. So I'm just going to spawn him on me. If there are 3 or more oysters in saltwater location, he gets +1, 5, +1 damage. Ooh, okay. So I guess distributing them out a little bit is kind of helpful. Move as many oysters as possible from your location to all connecting location. Distribute it as evenly as possible. If 1 or fewer oysters are moved, this gains surge. Well, there's no oysters here, so that surges. Put digging for apples into play in your threat area. When you activate an activate ability or a reaction ability on a location, spend 2 resources or take 1 damage. If there are 6 oysters on your location, discard digging for apples. Ooh. Bummer. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go first as Tommy. No sense not, I don't think. Did he spend down to 0 last turn? I would have used Madame to gain a resource. It would be very silly not to. It's kind of the whole point of her. So Tommy is going to shoot at this guy once. 6 against 3. Goodbye. Alright. He didn't have shadow, did he? Okay. Wonderland creature. We do still need to get the coastal stuff, so let's go take a look at what these do. There's 2 resources from the, okay. And I think we're just going to keep being on the move to find out what all these ones do. 6 oysters. After you defeat an enemy at the Sheltered Shallows, place X resources from the token bank on it as oysters, where X is 1 less than that enemy's health, minimum of 1. Ooh. Would have been nice to know that was there. I didn't read this other one aloud. It's double action to place 2 resources as oysters. It's slow, but it's better than dying to digging for apples. Okay. So that's Tommy. It's a lot of damage to take. It's also a lot of resources to spend. But I think we're just going to go for it. So let's... Oh man, how am I going to get... I've got to get 8 oysters out and I've only got 2? I can't really do this one. Man, I hope there's a good one over here for me to do, because this is going to eat a ton of time. That's like 2 full turns. Whew. Okay. We need to get this. So... Let's investigate. I guess I could draw first and do a deduction, but that would just be the 1 oyster. Right. Okay. So let's investigate 5, 6, 7 against 3. 0. So I will take a resource, or take the clue, and when I successfully investigate, I will spend a resource to place an oyster here. Oh my god, can you hear my cat caterwauling? Whew. Someone's pissed. Alright. We'll keep going. I think we're just going to take a damage on this next one. -2. So get that for a damage. And then we'll move to the central location. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Upkeep. Oh, nope. I saw that bottom one, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shuffle this and put the hypochondria in play. Alright. So I will have to clear one of these. 3 out of 5 doom. Another digging for apples. Yikes. Another deepening dusk. Yikes. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, well, we're just going to move him here to move the 2 resources. And then we're going to move down. And discard hypochondria. And then Tommy, oh, he got a kleptomania. Oops. He's going to scoot over. And he's going to, boom, boom, taking a damage on Madame Lebranche to place 2 resources here. That'll be him. And then at the end of his turn, he will take a horror, which I will put on Madame Lebranche as well. Because I've got another one of her in my hand. I've already made my money back on her, so whatever hits next, I'm good. So ready, ready. Upkeep, upkeep. A shortcut on top, nice. Like to see it. He readies. 4 out of 5 doom, and we get an edge of your vision. This is now testing against 4, so definitely not feeling very happy about that one. If I pull a 0, I could automatically succeed it, but or I can pull a +1 and automatically succeed it. Not bad. And we do get a Haunting Shade here. Okay. So the Shroud value is insane right now, but that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to double action to take 2 of these here. So we can now advance. And I think we will. I don't think there's any sort... Okay, so first off, sorry, let's not get too... We activated that. We were supposed to take a damage, which puts 1 on her. I get 1, 2, 3, and then she shuffles back into my deck. Okay, fine. So I don't have to clear this one on him as fast because I can technically just spend a bunch of resources if I need to. But I do need to be careful for this. So I think we're going to advance because we have 8 oysters out. If there are a total of at least 8 oysters in play among all locations, we can advance. You work your way up and down the coast, but none of the shellfish seem to understand. Finally, one oyster in particular regards you more warily than the others. You are not a part of Wonderland, it states coolly, but neither are you one of the shadows. You must be another Alice. You do your best to explain the circumstances, and nods itself slowly. Choose an investigator to immediately take control of the set aside the eldest oyster. You plus X seal value for this test, where X is the number of oysters on your location. Any investigator at the eldest oyster's location may activate this ability. Okay, cool. We'll just take it on... We'll put it on Norman, I guess. Gone fishing. The oyster demands that you take it with you. The shadows are hungry like their master, and anything hungry can be baited. They crave things from your world, some of which have drifted in from the Sea of Tears. You get the idea pretty quickly to start collecting anything you can find from Arkham. At the end of the round, investigators at Rocky Outcropping may spend the requisite number of clues to advance, 4 per investigator. Well, we're at 6 right now. Last action, I think... This guy's not even doing anything to us right now. That's kind of nice. Oh, I only need to pick up 2 more clues to advance this, and they can be off this location, and then I'm pretty good on the VP that I've seen so far. And the last location is the one I need to go to. Okay, nice. All right, so that being the case... Tommy's last action is going to be... to... Do I get him to start moving that way? Or do I... Oh, he can crush this test with this eldest oyster. Nice. Okay. So I do get him to walk away. I'm going to get him to walk right there. That's fine. He doesn't ever lose aloof, does he? If there are no clues on his location, he loses aloof and gets +1 fight and +1 damage. Okay, so he can't walk away. Gotcha. Wonder if I messed that up last time. I hope not. Last action, he's going to... Should he just engage him? What does he do? He does 1 horror? He's just going to engage the Haunting Shadow. Or I guess the Haunting Shade... Oh, it'll be doing damage. Yeah, let's just play our other Madame Lebranche. That's fine. It's kind of safe. And then we get a horror onto our keepsake from Kleptomania. Okay. So over here on Norman, we're going to investigate. We're going to be using divination. No, we're going to commit a deduction. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 against 6. If you fail, take a horror. Well, I don't take a horror. He loses aloof. Pops into the threat area of him. What I might do... I don't know if having them spread out is good or not. I don't remember. I think having them spread out was good. So we're going to move Bill here, and we're going to put, like, 3 of them, I guess. From that last, where was it? This one. 3 or more oysters removed by this effect take 1 damage. Okay, so I think we're gonna do like that. Oh no, we can only move. Okay, so we'll. Yeah, actually, we're gonna move them here, and we're gonna move 4 of them. There. Okay. That's the deduction used to get those clues. He's over there. Good. Let's... If we look at the 1 mind over matter, I don't really want to walk away too much. Be advancing the act soon, and I'm a little worried about, like, dudes showing up and it sucking. So what's... Into the round, investigators at Rocky Outcropping may spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Okay. I don't think I want to do that without Tommy. So what we're going to do is we're going to... we took the clues. We will... You know what, we're going to draw some cards, I think. I think we're going to draw 1 card. Come on. Okay. Interesting. I think we're going to draw another card. Hate these hand areas. Okay, Scroll of Secrets. Cool. Boom. Okay. There's no clues in the location. He has +1 fight, +1 damage, so he's going to be going boom, and then boom. Is what we're going to do. Ready, ready. He readies as well. Put those clams there, or oysters, excuse me. And then up. Keep. Raptured on top. Keep faith. Interesting. We're at 5 out of 5 doom, and we're going to be advancing the Tide of Tears to the walrus and the carpenter. Problems with the old country house, Squire? A disinterested carpenter approaches the White Rabbit and his partially demolished home, giving them both only a glance. Yes, yes, only hurry, the rabbit pleads, tapping his foot. Easy does it, Gov, the carpenter retorts, rubbing his stomach. Job's as good as done, only I'm a mite peckish. I'll be back round once I've had a bite. Further down the rocky coast, an enormous walrus lifts itself out of the surf. Its stomach growls like an earthquake as it looks out over the sea of tears. Victuals abound. An oyster dinner seems the only solution, it rumbles to itself. Spawn the set-aside walrus into play at tidal pools. Spawn the set-aside the carpenter into play at the White Rabbit's house. Shuffle the remainder of the walrus and carpenter encounter set and the discard pile into the encounter deck. Walrus encounter. Okay, so the walrus goes into play at the tidal pools. He's a 3 fight, 3 evade, aloof, can't be damaged. After he is successfully attacked, move up to 1 oyster from him onto his location. Okay. And he, the carpenter, is the exact same. At the White Rabbit's house. Okay. Interesting. Fine. Beginning the feed. The 2 hungry figures make their way down the beach with the clear intent of devouring the oysters. With each bite, they seem to grow larger by inches at a time. and at the same time grow darker and more distorted. Forced. At the end of the Mythos phase, remove all Doom from all cards in play. For each Doom removed, resolve the highest possible option, 1 per investigator times. Move 1 oyster from the walrus or the carpenter's location onto that enemy. Move the walrus or the carpenter 1 location towards the closest option with the most oysters on it. Forced if there are no oysters on locations advance. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's brutal. Because this is the only easy one for me. This one's, like, hateful. Ooh, I should have moved them in with Bill to there, because then I could put 2 in on a big evade with the eldest oyster. Okay. Anyways, that's not happening this round because I just advanced, but I do have to shuffle those in and then do an upkeep. Tidal Surge. Move as many oysters as possible from your location to all connecting coastal locations, distributed as evenly as possible. Boom, boom. 3 or more were not moved. Okay, well, it was a good thing that I did that. Flip the Cheshire Cat. And a saltwater crocodile. Spawn him at any coastal location. Ooh, I could put him over here. He does have Hunter, so I do have to go get him. And he does have +1 fight and +1 damage right now. So, I feel like maybe that's not a great idea. Can I do enough in 1 turn? I think I can. Yeah, I can kill both of them in 1 turn. I've got a daring. We'll give it a go, and then we can shove these up here. Norman can go like boom, use that. They're gonna be picking up all these oysters off of me though. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay. So we have to start with Tommy. So he's got +1 fight right now. But that's not too bad. We're at 6 against 3. Do a single icon we could throw into this? One, two, three, 4. 20 in the bag. Okay. We'll take a shot. -3. Okay, so we do defeat him. So he gets defeated. And I'm going to play Glory for 2 cards. Okay. And then I'm going to scoot over, and he's going to engage me. And we're going to use this and a daring on him to be at 6, 7, 8, 9 against 4. We're 5 up. Bless token and a -2. Okay, so we draw. He gets defeated. And then after I defeat an enemy, I place X resources from the token bank on that as oysters. So, boom. But in order to do that, I have to take a damage or spend 2 resources. So let's spend 2 resources to do that. And then at the end of the test, we draw a card from Daring. Nice. Gret, a little late, but nice. That's my turn, and at the end of my turn, I take a horror. We will take 2 resources from... Nope. We'll take 1, 2, 3 resources from Madame Lebranche and shuffle her back in. This is why I feel like I really need Tetsuo, is, I don't have guns. Like, where are my guns? The card draw is really quite rough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these to here, right? Do they do anything to Bill? Does it say anything about Bill? Okay, so he's going to move a couple up there at least. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so that plan isn't great. I guess I could... No, I don't want to use a mind over matter just for that. That's wasteful. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we need to get up here quickly. We don't have a lot of time. I think that means Norman is going to... You know what, actually? Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Norman's going to walk up. Norman is going to play his Scroll of Secrets. Nope, he cannot play the Scroll of Secrets quite yet. He's going to get ready to walk in here next time, I guess. Actually, you know what? I may as well just go in. We're going to go in because we don't have to spend the clues right now. So we'll walk in. Choose and discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Place X resources from this as... Oh, okay. So this one's pretty reasonable. So if I really need to get more oysters on the board, I can be discarding cards from his hand because he's got plenty of cards in hand right now. So then last action, what I'm actually going to do is play this over a magnifying glass and then use it to look at the bottom card of the deck and decide what to do with it. The Holy Rosary is going to just go on top of the deck, and then I'll draw it during upkeep. So these guys don't have a hunter or anything, so nothing happens there. So we do upkeep, and then the Enraptured gets re-revealed. Okay, we've got a Winchester now. That's interesting. So, boom. At the end of the Mythos phase, remove all Doom from all cards in play. Okay, so we do the encounter deck first. Boom. Another +1, big +1 Shroud there. Boom. If all oysters in play are on the walrus and or carpenter's locations of cabbages and kings, gain surge. Otherwise, test 3 willpower. If you fail, move X oysters that are not at the walrus or the carpenter's locations, 1 location, towards either the walrus or the carpenter, whichever is closest, where X is the amount you failed by. Okay, so, first off, during the resolution of this, I'm going to use Scroll of Secrets again to look at the bottom card of my deck and toss this divination into my hand. Then I'm going to commit an Arcane Enlightenment to this to be 6 against 3. -1. Okay, cool. So we're pretty free to just walk in and see what happens. Did I miss a horror last turn? No, that was what I did. Okay, so he's going to walk up and then walk up again. He's going to send Bill down here with his oysters, I think, so that these guys don't bother me. So 1, 2. Last action, we will boom boom for Madame Labranche. And this will trigger to put a horror on that for 2 resources. That's Tommy. I'd love to play this Delve. I highly considered removing it from my deck before this game started during my upgrades, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I wonder if I need oysters to do the next part, and I'm a little nervous I do. But I'll be taking a bunch of damage to do that. Okay. Let's shuffle the deck. Research Librarian is going to search for my other Scroll of Secrets and add it to my hand. Okay. Did I spend 2 for that? I could have swore I did. Oh, that's going to bother me. Okay. We'll play over another magnifying glass, I think, because I don't think I need any more clues this scenario. We'll use that to look at the bottom card of the deck. Nope, that's the top card. Eureka, we'll add that to hand. And then last but not least, we're just going to use a divination, or we're just gonna investigate with divination 5, 6 against 3. Okay, so we fail anyways. Okay, cool. So we ready up, we upkeep, mists, that's what I was kind of looking for. And then at the end of the round, we can spend the requisite number of clues to advance, so 8. Oh, I forgot to move these guys, didn't I? So, what was this? For each doom removed, resolve the highest possible option Remove one oyster from the walrus or the carpenter's location onto that enemy. So I'm pretty sure that I just had to do that. The walrus just feasted. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened, and then that will be gone. Okay, sorry. That's my bad. Gone fishing is advanced, though. Catch of the day. With the wise oyster's guidance, you gather a collection of random flotsam at a small ledge overlooking the Sea of Tears. These items are not from Wonderland either, the oyster explains matter-of-factly, and therefore must be from wherever you are from. The shadows crave things from your home, and with this many you surely have enough to bait a hook. You tie the debris together and hurl it into the water on a line. No sooner has the cluster hit the water when an enormous shadowy figure erupts from the sea, consuming the objects in a single bite. Bill the Lizard gives a terrified wail at the mere sight of the beast, and you do your best to keep him from fleeing as the monster emerges. If the investigators went down the rabbit hole, spawn the set-aside deep lurker perilous predator. This one at the rocky outcropping. Okay. Abyssal predator. The shadowy monster eyes you hungrily and begins to scrabble up the cliff face towards you. Now is your chance to see what weakness the greater shadows hold. If you are at Deep Lurker's location, spend 1 clue, fight. This test uses intellect instead of fight. If you succeed, deal 1 damage, plus 2 damage instead if there are 4 or more oysters on your location. If he's defeated, advance. Okay, so we just need to kill him. And he's got a decent amount of health. Ooh, and he gets plus 1 fight until the end of the round. Yuck! Don't tell me that. Okay. So then, that was the end of the round effect. A doom goes on there. We get our encounter cards. Testing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We'll put this Eureka into it, and we'll put I don't think I need any of this shit anymore. The shroud value is 3, so let's just not get one of them, actually. Let's do this, in fact. I would love to not see one of them. Okay. So that is successful, and I also get to look... Please don't do this. I also get to look at the top 3 cards of my deck and add one of them to my hand. Yeah, I'll just take Mists. Mists seems pretty good against this guy. Is he Hunter or Massive? Is that what he was? Massive. Okay, so he is just chilling here. And he only does 1 and 1. So he's actually not... This guy's actually pretty reasonable. This isn't going to be too bad. He does have... No, this is totally reasonable. So let's take a look at the bottom card of the deck. Discard it. And let's take another look at the bottom card of the deck. And we will put that on the top. So, over for Norman, we're going to take 1 attack of opportunity, killing the research librarian, to play Miss Sevrilia. And then we're going to attempt to evade him. We're going to be at 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. We have to discard a card from our hand, which is going to be a shortcut. But he is evaded. And then we're going to investigate here 5, 6 against 3. -3, so I'm going to spend 2 charges for 2 clues. And discard another card from my hand. Oh, I should have committed the Enraptured. Whoops. I would have put a clue. I would have put a charge back on, and I wouldn't have had to discard a card. But I'll just discard the divination. That's not a big deal. Yep. Okay. So that's him. Tommy is going to blast him with the Thompson. 6 against 1. Interesting. Okay. With a vicious blow committed for 3 damage. And then we're going to do it 6 against 2. For 2 damage. And then finally, we will act of desperation this for a ridiculous amount against 3. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6 back and 2 damage. So he's currently at 1 health, I believe. Yep. Okay. So did I forget to do these guys again? I believe that moves him there and moves him there. Because this doesn't have any oysters. Yep. That's what we should have done at the end of the last round. So they're ready. Boom, boom, boom. Upkeep. Oh, he's supposed to take a horror from his kleptomania. And then he does this. And then we place a doom and we do these. Put him into play next to the agenda deck. When a skull is revealed, cancel it. Do not reveal another. Okay, cool. Uh-oh. Test 3. Okay, so we're going to put the stand together and this cherished keepsake into this, I believe. To be 2 up. Nice. And move as many that gain surge because there's none on us. And edge of your vision. I really would like to stop drawing that. I'm going to use this to see what the bottom card of my deck is to see if I can commit it maybe. No, but I will add it to my hand. Not super useful yet, but I'm hoping that the build will come together that becomes very good. So I'm testing 4 against 3. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So we'll evade him again. Doesn't actually do that. Cancel that. Do not reveal another. Discard him. So he's evaded. And then we're going to play a Delve Too Deep. Testing 3 against 3. 0. And he comes into play there. So that goes into the victory display. And then we're going to be doing another Delve Too Deep. Flip the Cheshire Cat. Surge. Title Surge. Okay, that goes into play next to the agenda deck. I like to put those right here. I don't know if you've been watching me any amount of time. Also, at the end of the Mythos phase, these guys were supposed to move again, so I guess they just would have moved here and here. No, that's not correct. One of them would be standing there, one of them would move, and then he would eat one. Because you always have to do the topmost one if one of them can be done. Okay. And then this is place a doom on the current agenda. This can cause the agenda to advance. Place 2 clues in your location or take 2 direct horror. We'll just take 2 direct horror. And then that puts that into the victory display. Good turn, Norman. Appreciate all the help. Oh, did I just discard that guy by accident? Where'd he go? Wasn't there a... Did I delete him by accident? One of those shadow guys should be there. It's funny. Well, I know what's there's supposed to be an enemy on me, but if I recall correctly, they don't deal attacks of opportunity. And I'll just quickly confirm that. Yeah, they don't make attacks of opportunity. So nothing would have happened there. And that's fine. Okay. And now he just needs to kill the deep lurker. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Winchester. And we'll just start taking shots. I get +2, so it's 6 against 1 again. -2, I deal 1 damage. And that puts him at 8. Up in the victory display, victory 2. If he's defeated, advance. You beat back the savage monster, throwing everything you have at it. After many grueling minutes, the shadowy creature grows unstable and dissipates with a hollow cry. Bill the Lizard's courage finally fails him, and he lets out a panicked yelp. He flees immediately at the awful sound of the shadow's death rattle, leaving you to face its fading form alone. R2. The dark creature's destruction sends out a force like the opposite of a shockwave. A wall of stillness sweeps outward from the remains, and for a minute you can hear the blood rushing in your ears as the shadows evaporate before you. The swell of the sea returns slowly, and the taste of the salt air rouses your senses. The beach behind you seems brighter and warmer than before, and you take exhausted steps back inland. Further back, amid the sedge, grass, and small dunes, you find the walrus and the carpenter lying in wretched states. The sand around them is stained with darkness, and the last driplets of shadow leak from the corners of their mouths as they lie groaning. A rotten bunch. It's shellfish poisoning, I'll wager. The carpenter mumbles as he clutches his stomach. The walrus can only grunt painfully in agreement as it rolls to one side. After everything this pair did to the oysters, and you besides, you must decide what to do with them. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say 5, 6. 6 XP. Cool. Count the number of oysters on locations at the end of the scenario. If there are 2 per investigator or more oysters on locations, we gain 2 bonus experience. Oh, sweet. And I think there are. So, assuming that I did the Doom correctly and I wasn't supposed to move like 2 more from missed triggers, I don't think I was supposed to, but I do have 4 there. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 8 XP. That's pretty good. Another solid result. 9 and 8 is quite a lot. I like that. They're no further threat to anyone like that. We've taken enough risks. Let's finish them. I think that they're no longer a threat. Yeah. They're no longer a threat. Resolution 3. In spite of everything, the 2 gluttons are as much a part of Wonderland as the oysters are. Everyone has to eat something after all. You take a small amount of time to help them recover from their possession. The walrus and the carpenter give you no thanks, but they do comment on their experience of being overtaken by the shadows with rather embellished details. In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark under the strength of Wonderland. And then, in your campaign log, record that the walrus and the carpenter have lost their appetites. Each investigator earns 1 bonus experience as the walrus and the carpenter tell you about their corruption. Oh, that's excellent. So 9 again. Wow, that's really good. Skip to Resolution 5. The sand transitions back to dirt as you return to the White Rabbit's house. You find that the suspended fragments of his house have collapsed down, and the rabbit is now fussing over the mess. Dear, dear, another mess. Where is that workman? He may as well have been another monster for all the good he did. The White Rabbit snorts in frustration and turns towards you. And you! Have you brought the monster with you? You do your best to explain the ordeal, and the rabbit nods along with growing look of disturbance on his face. As you end your tale, the White Rabbit jerks with a sudden twitch and grabs for his pocket watch. No, I'm even more late now. I must hurry. Must find my gloves, or the Duchess will be furious. He dashes towards the door, having completely dismissed you in his hurry. You quickly try to question the rabbit further about Wonderland and the dangers ahead, but your words fall on deaf ears. The rabbit is absorbed in his new task utterly and will not spare a moment for anything else. You depart with a sigh, resigned to spend your precious time elsewhere. However, between the oyster's advice and your triumph over the shadows here, you feel as though you are on the right path. In your campaign log, record 1 tally mark under the strength of Wonderland. In your campaign log, record that the White Rabbit survived the monster's attack. If the investigators went down the rabbit hole, proceed to interlude the caterpillar. And we will continue with the interlude for the caterpillar in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.